Hey everybody, welcome to Birmingham Transparent. I'm your host, Melvin Stringer, aka Ducky Boy. And today's Duckology, personal boundaries. Here we go. The definition of personal boundaries supposedly is the limits and rules we set for ourselves within relationships. Relationships, a lot of people think that's reduced to husband and wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, or whatever. But you learn that anybody that you come to contact with on a regular basis, you establish a relationship with them. Be it co-worker, children, homeboy, whatever. And relationships vary. You must set some sort of boundaries to maintain those relationships. And to me, those boundaries must be set, established early on, and respected. If a lot of people maintain that train of thought, I think a lot of drama would be, we could do away with a lot of drama. I think a lot of times people overstep their boundaries. And so today, basically, I'm going to talk about the three types of boundaries. In my opinion on them, that's why we call it Duckology. This is my thought. I take the information that's out there, read it, and give my opinion on it. So the three types we're going to talk about today is rigid boundaries, porous boundaries, and healthy boundaries. That's rigid, porous, and healthy. Rigid boundary setters normally keep their distance from people, and they avoid intimacy and close relationships. Also, they're unlikely to ask for help. Like, for instance, motherfuckers, let's say their light's about to get cut off or something. They know they need some help. They're not going to ask somebody. They'll basically suffer before they ask for help. That goes along with keeping the distance. They're protective of personal information. You won't catch them putting their business out there. To find out what's going on with them, you're going to have to do some real prying and stalking and get you a private investigator or something, because they're not going to put their business out there. Also, they may seem detached even from romantic partners. I know that sounds weird, but in a lot of relationships, people end up sharing the same bed, same house with each other. You would think they're close, but somehow a rigid boundary setter will find a way to be detached from that person. It doesn't mean they don't love them, they're just detached. That's the way they set their boundaries. Also, they keep others at a distance to avoid the possibility of rejection. Rigid boundary setters can't handle rejection too well, so they keep themselves at a distance to avoid that. Maybe it's because they don't like getting hurt, or they don't have the confidence to, accept being rejected. Some people can, some people can't. So that's rigid boundary setters. They keep their distance. Porous boundary setters are the opposite. They get too involved in shit. They want to be all in your business, know what's going on. You can rarely see them from time to time, but they still want to know what's going on. Also, not just that, they don't just get in your business, they overshare their business. They'll tell all their business. You know somebody who tell all their business, all thing you have to do is sit there and listen to them. They'll tell you everything that's going on with them. But also, they'll be trying to find out everything that's going on with you as well. They depending on the opinions of others. How some people worry about basically what other people think of them and what they got to say about them. That's how a porous boundary set is. They're worried about, their image. They're worried about what people have to say about them. Whereas you may have some people who give a damn what anybody got to say about them. A porous boundary setter, they worry. And they also, they accept abuse and disrespect in a major way just to be accepted. And that's crazy. So that's the porous boundary setter. They fear rejection. Also, they like yes men. Whatever you say, they always agree with it and whatnot. Instead of like sometimes saying, no, that ain't right, because they're scared that if you say no, that you won't fuck with them no more. So they fear rejection. So whatever you say, they're going to agree with it. Sort of like a yes man. Okay, so if I say rigid boundary setters, they keep their distance, whereas porous boundary setters, they get too involved. Finally, we have healthy boundary setters. A healthy boundary setter value their own opinion. Your opinion matters to you first, and that's priority. That's paramount, that you value your own opinion above what anyone else have to say about you. Also, they won't compromise their values just to appease others. Like if you're about to say something wrong or do something fucked up, they're not just gonna naturally agree with it. No matter how close you are, no matter if it's your brother, your wife, and all that, they're gonna be like, nah, that's wrong. I had nothing to do with that. That's on you, and you shouldn't do it either. They're not just gonna go along with shit just for your acceptance. They share their personal information in an appropriate way. They don't undershare it, and they don't overshare it. But when you're in a relationship, it's paramount that you and that person do get to know each other, because that's the intimacy of all good relationships, and that's the beauty of it all. But you don't really want to overshare all your personal information. You don't want to know too much about that person, and it's all out of respect. And you don't want to undershare, because then it make people feel like you got something to hide, and you may feel like they got something to hide. So there's a balance in all of it. You just have to catch it down the middle. And in all honesty, most people they got mixed boundaries, and it's okay. You may have one that's porous, one that's rigid, one that's healthy. It may be either one, because of the fact that we're in different settings all the time. Like, you go to work, you're at home, you're with your homeboys. In each of those settings, you're gonna be different. You're not gonna act how you act at work when you're around your homeboys. You're not gonna act how you act around your homeboys when you're at work. You're not gonna act how you act when you're wife. When you're with your wife, like you do when you're with your homeboys. You have some sort of boundaries. Boundaries must be set early on when you first meet a person. It's imperative that you set those boundaries early and stick with them. Set them high, so that if a person falls short, they still fall in the area where you guys still can maintain a relationship. Personal boundaries ought to be respected and established, and that should kill a lot of the drama that's going on. That's my duckology today for you guys. Thank you for listening. Melvin Stringer, Birmingham Transparent. I'm out.